So a big name, Edgar Mitchell, had pulled out, but I'd heard that Don Schmidt was on stage. I thought I'd wait for the right moment before I spoke.
We do mention many names.
Okay.
So you just repeat them as you hear them. So they'll be pronounced correctly.
Despite waiting 18 months and travelling thousands of miles, my patients had to hold out a bit longer. Outside, up to 10,000 people were waiting to see pictures of what they thought could be an alien body.
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias por estar aquí en una noche histórica, una noche que hemos esperado por tantos años y finalmente tenemos la evidencia que hemos esperado todo este tiempo y con la cual queremos influir determinantemente en la aceptación del fenómeno extraterrestre. Bueno, ahora sí, si me permiten.
It feels to me like you're already preparing for battle before the day.
No, it's because I've been in battle before the day. I've been in battle for 3 months. Probably if I was wrong in something, if I thought this was real and it wasn't, and somebody proved that, then I would accept that probably I made a mistake. But now I feel so confident.
All the documents from Roswell had been destroyed surrounding the incident. And if we believe that, as Congressman Schiff did it, we realized that we were really getting close to something extremely sensitive, extremely classified.
People like Don Schmidt and Tom Carey, they have dedicated their life to do the Roswell investigation more than anybody else. How can they think that they are so dumb that they are going to present a mummy or a child or something?
Do you think it's possible that they're doing it because they think the subject is so serious that something like this might damage the subject?
Honestly, some of them think, especially after the Santilli autopsy, after 20 years, somebody's coming back with the same, lie. Then they think that they should stop us, some of them, before we damage this phenomenon for them.
There's going to be a very obvious criticism that's going to come from one direction. And the direction is, you're making a lot of money out of this event, or you might be.
No, I am risking so much money. I don't know if I'm going to get it back. I don't care. Just the auditorium cost you more than $100,000, $130,000 for one day. And the tickets and the rides that I had to pay and the stage and the production and the cameras and everything else. It's a lot of money, my friend.
And while we all waited for Adam Dew to show the world his alien pictures, I noticed he never actually said they were pictures of an alien.
The first thing that we decided to do was to try to read this mysterious placard that appears in the case that holds the body in the photos. If we could read this placard, mystery solved.
Yeah, this was actually more visible. Roswell, huh? But I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to get anything out of that. We'll see.
Sadly, Walker was correct. We couldn't really make anything clearly out of the placard. There's a list of several others who made an effort but didn't have much luck.
A mysterious placard that couldn't be read.
Kodak also recommended that we show the slides to a certain Kodachrome historian in Rochester.
Photographic specialist that didn't want to be named. Was this all he had? Apparently not.
If you think you might have pictures of an alien body, you want to show them to someone who claims that they've seen alien bodies. He was a private first class at Roswell Air Force Base in July.
It was Elazar Benavides, the Roswell witness I'd been waiting to speak with since 2013.
A copy. I just say, if this is a copy, they did pretty good.
Las dos fotografías están ligeramente fuera de foco, ligeramente movidas, como si hubieran sido tomadas deprisa. Es así que vamos a ver primero esta imagen. Por primera vez se exhibe a un público, aquí a ustedes y también a través de internet a todo el mundo. Nos están viendo en este momento de todo el mundo. Vamos a ver finalmente la imagen.
It was definitely a strange-looking body, but proof of aliens? According to the science, yes, and there was lots of it.
Una vez analizado esto, vamos a determinar las diferentes anomalías o patologías que podemos encontrar.
I'm a former retired academic who at times worked in fields like human evolution, primatology, comparative anatomy. On closer examination, it's not a human being at all. It is not even a mammal.
Jaime had one trick left, a 20-foot-high 3D holographic animation modelled from the slides. The whole thing had lasted over 4 hours and had felt totally surreal. But there was one person I still wanted to see.
I can assure you, as of tonight, all the attacks are going to come from the United States. Certain people who said, well, just release it. Just come out with it. And if that would have been the case, if we would have just released the files to our peers, there would have been two camps. Those who want to believe that they're genuine, and those who, again, whose agenda is strictly to destroy. But we took our time. There was analysis, there was investigation. Biggest problem we ran into in the States was we couldn't get anybody to look at these. I mean, it's true, we can't prove.
I think we can.
But by eliminating what it isn't,
I mean,
that's all that's left. That's
don't
all
be
that's
so
left.
negative.
No, that's all that's left. That's all that's left.
Don't be so negative.
We go home this week, and we're going to have, our friends call for our heads on a block. I mean, we're not stating, it's alien, but the point is, what else could it be?
So in a room full of people, I finally got to ask why he'd stopped all the contact.
I've written 8 chapters of the next book in the last 4 months. I just had 2 performances of Elijah, of the professional choir group that I sing with. We're redesigning the museum in Roswell. And because I'm an advisor to the board, I'm totally involved in how we're redoing.
And that, seemingly, was that. Is there anything you think you could have done differently, or you feel...
What else? Bring the body. What else can you do? Tell me. If they say it's a mummy, where is the picture? Where is the mummy? If they say anything, they have to prove it, my friend. I think it was very solid, very well supported. That is all I can say.
I couldn't argue with him. Whatever people felt about it, Jaime Maussan had just put on the biggest show in UFO history. I'd gone as far as I could go in Mexico, and with Roswell. Being amongst the UFO scene is like living inside a bubble. And bubbles always burst.
A group called the Roswell Slides Research Group had used a de-blurring process to look at the placard that was visible in the slides, and within hours they were able to decode it, to de-blur it, and were able to read it well enough to realize that what we had was...
Schmidt had told me that the long wait had been so they could perform due diligence analysing the slides. But members of the public had made more progress in one day than their scientists had made in 3 years. And the online UFO community were out for blood.
It was just a matter of hours before some of the very clever people in the Roswell Slides research group, who had access to some sophisticated software, and when I say sophisticated, I mean software that's available for most personal home computers, they were able to de-blur the writing on the slides almost immediately.
We managed to acquire a copy of a high-quality image of the placard. And that's when things started rolling. One of our members named Nab later, I remember him showing a picture, and it sort of said something of 2. At that point, I said, really? These are words. We're actually seeing words on this placard when other people had said they couldn't find anything. Within a couple hours, we had come up with mummified body of 2-year-old boy.
Whatever secrets the US government has on UFOs, events like these surely serve to keep the ridicule factor as high as it can go.
Tom Carey and Don Schmidt, who I was working with at the time, mentioned nothing to me about this. They never said a word about it. I don't know why I was cut out, other than they may have thought I'd have been overly skeptical about the slides showing an alien creature.
Not long after, even more paperwork and a second picture surfaced, which seemed to bury the case for the slides once and for all. Adam Dew had gone to ground, presumably richer, and Schmidt had started to make a U-turn. Once again, they'd left Massan to face the music alone.
It's not the same size. It's not the same length. One is 29 inches, the other is 47 inches. It's a big difference. I'm sorry. I want you to look at the new picture and the old picture and tell me, where is the hand? Where is the hand? There are so many people saying that I did it for the money without any proof. Any proof. They don't know how much I won. They don't know how much I lost. They don't know anything, but they talk and talk. I can tell you, Simon, that I lost money in this event, period. And I can prove it to anyone who has a good reason to know. I am tired of the personal attacks. I'm not a criminal. I am really an honest, and I have integrity.
I do think it's important for all of the people, and this includes myself, who were involved in the Mexico City event, simply to admit the slides show a child mummy. That means Jaime, that means Don, that means Tom Carey, that means Adam Dew.
Ufology has been damaged by the Roswell slides case, but the slides are a symptom. You know, it was bad research, and I think there's a lot of it.
The placard says that it is a mummy. Then one has to accept that. That was the point of my apology.
I am hurt by Don Schmidt because of what he did. No question about that. He said he was threatened, that they wanted to sue him.
There was some legal situation regarding the use of the name of a particular individual who served to analyze the slides, and that's all I'll say.
I think we need transparency, and we need to talk about what's going on in ufology to elevate it to the level of what you would be doing in a real science.
Would you think that anybody who says, I have an extraterrestrial body, is going to get away with it? You think that it's going to be accepted? Would you do it?
If our failing is anything, is that we relied too much on the scientific communities. And science, as we know, is far from absolute.